we're looking at cosec inverse of x. So for that, we need to start off with looking at cosec x. Now, these are your range of input values, but they won't include 2 pi by 2, 0 pi by 2, minus 2 pi by 2, so on and so forth. And the value, the output value that is your range, will look something like this. So what is that we are looking at? We are looking at the smiley face over here and the frowny faces. Please don't get confused. These are not part of your output. So as you can see, they're not part of your output. That's because of my code and all of that. Okay. So this is your graph. So we are able to manage from minus infinity to plus infinity as inputs other than even multiple of pi by 2. Right? And at the range, we have values which are varying with this condition actually. They're not going to pick up 1 to minus 1. The values between them, they're not part of your output. Right? Anything else is okay, excluding those. So all in all, I can tell that cosec x is mapping angles excluding even multiple of pi by 2, which is nothing but 2 into n pi by 2. So here pi by 2, that's 2, and this 2 gets cancelled. And they're going to map real numbers excluding values from minus 1 to 1. Next, cosecant inverse of x will be able to map from minus 1 to 1 to angles which are multiples of n pi has to be excluded, sorry. So that's what it can map. So basically, we're looking at domain values to be any real number excluding values from minus 1 to 1. Now let's look at the graph. This is your graph. So you can see the smiley face here too. This set of lines are nothing but your sine function. Actually, sine inverse of x. So we can see that as and when we vary the y component, we get the dot to move across this smiley faces. So here too we have the same thing. It's from 1 till plus infinity and 1 till minus infinity. So basically r excluding the values in between them. Now, what are your ranges? For that, we'll make use of the concept of branches. So branches over here, for branches, we need to make use of the sign. So we can see the branch of sine is starting from here and ending over here. So minus 3 pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. Even cosec inverse of x follows the same thing. So we have values from minus 3 pi by 2 to minus pi by 2, including those values. Those values are included if you see the graph. They are part of your output, minus 3 pi by 2. If I give an input of 1, I get minus 3 pi by 2. If I give an input of minus 1, I can get minus pi by 2. Which is the one which is not included? The multiple of pi. That is minus 2 pi by 2 in this case. So basically minus pi. So here we are not going to include minus pi. Okay. So let me look into the next branch. So next branch, it starts over here and ends over there. So basically this set of range minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So we have minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And in between, we'll have a value which is not part of it. That is, we can't have a value which is 0. So on and so forth. Right? And here the principal branch will be correct. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. These are included. while excluding 0. So this has to be square brackets. Okay, keep this in mind. Now, let's look at the graph. How do you draw this? This is a bit complicated. But let me make it easy for you guys, which I will do. I'll try for sure. So we need key points -1 and 1 along your domain. And that's your range, which is from pi by 2 to, so I guess I'll take this, minus pi by 2. Now, for how will we calculate this? Simple. Think of sine pi by 2. So the sine pi by 2 is 1. So basically this is 1. So basically your graph will start over here and try to reach the infinity over here. All these are positive set of values. So you'll get positive answer. So you'll get something like this, or even that was okay actually. And over here for an input of minus pi by 2 or -1, I get an output of minus pi by 2 and you have this graph. So this would be your graph, right? So basically I try to draw this part. Let me show this off. This is what I try to draw. So starting from here till here, and this starting from here till here. This is -1 and this is 1, by the way. And this is part of sine, so don't get confused with that. So basically this is your graph. Okay guys. So please pause and see to that you copy everything.